Hello folks and welcome to my channel, it's James here. I went out and about earlier on to do a little charity shop hunt and look for some movies. So I'll just fix my PC. You know what? I'm unprepared. Because I've not got my cup of tea. So I'm going to make my cup of tea then come right back. Dear oh dear, what's going on? Right, I'm back. Cup of tea made. Now, I don't know whether it's because I've got on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I don't know whether it's because I've got a sore knee. I was up late last night. Or the fact that I went to Lidl's this morning first thing and they had one of those travel later things, you know, like they've got in Gladiators for getting your trolley up and down. And because I've got a sore knee, sometimes my lace comes out and I can't actually get down to tie it. So stupid me goes down the travelator, as I call it, and get to the bottom, and what happens? My lace gets stuck in the bottom end. It starts to pull me in. And the only reason I escaped is because I pulled my leg and my lace snapped. There was a guy behind me who goes, "You were lucky there." I was like, yeah, but I jerked my knee doing it. So I don't know if I'm in a bad mood or no. But I've got a couple of bits of rant coming. Now, first one is about Vinted. Now, I've championed Vinted since I started using it. And I've been using it more and more lately. Because the second part of my rant's going to be about CEX. But we'll just stick with Vinted for now. So, I was in the charity shop about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I found the Twisters DVD. And because I didn't have the Twisters DVD for 50p, I bought it because I actually quite liked that movie. It was a decent follow-up to Twister. I thought it was pretty good. So I was always going to get on 4K, but because I had 50p DVD, I took it. But coincidentally, on one of the CEXs I went in, and they had the 4K, so I upgraded. So, alright, that's a reasonable DVD. Probably worth a couple of pound. So I put it up on Vinted. I think I sold it for £2.50. Packed it away in a nice bubble wrap envelope. Perfect, it was brand new. And I get a dispute from the buyer. And the dispute says, "This has arrived damaged." There was a tiny wee bit in the corner of the DVD that was slightly open. And I was like, okay, it was packaged perfectly. Fair enough. And it goes, Vinted will look into this and they'll just make a decision unless you want to refund the buyer right away. And I was like, no, I didn't want to refund the buyer. I sent it perfectly packaged. If the courier they've chosen's screwed that up, then fine. So I left it, and 2 days later it comes back and goes, "We found that your package is improperly packaged and therefore we have refunded the buyer." I'm like, what? It was in a ballable padded envelope, completely covered, and you're telling me I've improperly packaged it. So I went on Vinted Customer Support, and I must have spent 2 days, and it wasn't about the £2.50, because, you know, it's £2.50, it's about the principle, and argued that they weren't taking responsibility because they didn't want to contact the courier for £2.50. And I argued to the point they actually stopped and just started ignoring my messages. Every day I've been going in and going, "You're going to answer this?" And this time I'm like, "Dare you give up or don't you?" I actually don't think I am. I think there is a legal email and I'm going to send it to them. I'm going to get, because there was nothing wrong with that package. So all I would say is, if you are sending something on Vinted, I would say be prepared to lose your money. It's only happened on one item to me ever at about 20, but be prepared to lose the money, is what I would say. That being said, CEX trading prices have dropped massively for Blu-rays and DVDs. They just don't want them. I was in the store, I think it was Thursday, and I was speaking to one of the guys behind the counter. He collects Blu-rays and DVDs like me, and he goes, "They just don't want them anymore." So they're reducing the trading prices to really low levels so you don't bring them in. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? I've got the option of going on Vinted, where they side with the seller all the time. Not the seller, the buyer. Because if they sided with me, I'd have my £2.50. But they didn't. Or you go into CX and take some rubbish money. But I have decided to stick with Vinted and see what happens with my next two. So that being said, I'll show you what pickups I've got this week. And that sort of leads me on to why I'm selling on Vinted. So I've seen this. I think someone put it up in Big Polly's channel, Big Polly's Facebook group, or somebody's Facebook group. They put this up that HMV were selling the Warner Brothers 90s. I think this is 90s collection, or is it 90s to like 1990s to today collection for half price £24.99. And I always find it difficult with these ones because you can tell the movies from the pictures on the front, but see when you put it on the site, it never pictures the movies in the back. So obviously I figured out what movies are in there. Now it's got Unforgiven in it, and it's got The Shawshank Redemption in it, and I already have those two movies. But I worked out if I traded them into CX for the 4K price, I'd probably get about £13 or £14 back, something like that. And I was like, okay, well that would mean, because there's two movies in here that I really wanted on 4K, which was Training Day and Goodfellas. So I thought, if I get this for £24.99, I can trade my Unforgiven and my Shawshank Redemption individual releases, and I get Training Day and Goodfellas on 4K. Plus you get Elvis in here. Elvis was an okay movie, but Tom Hanks' accent in it really got on my nerves, is what I would say. Maybe I'm in a bad mood this morning. But I thought I'll do that. So I put the other two, I put the Unforgiven on Vinted, and I put the Shawshank Redemption on Vinted as well. And I sold them for £18 in cash. So that would have been £15 of vouchers when I've got £18 of cash, and I can use that £18 on maybe some Amazon Germany purchases rather than getting vouchers for CEX, because I say the quality has the things coming into CEX has gone down quite a bit lately. So I also have this edition of Goodfellas that doesn't seem to be on the CEX site for trading either. So I'll probably put this on Vinted as well. I'll show you. Sorry, I'm getting up my slowness with my knee. Oh, you grumpy old man. I remember watching Sharp, and who's the guy in Sharp, the one that sings the songs? And he's always got a bad knee, and he goes, nothing fixes it like vinegar and brown paper. Maybe I should try that. When he's in the swamp, but he keeps his gun out of the water. Yeah, always remember that. So I've got this edition of Goodfellas, and it comes with a booklet. You know, it's got a nice slipcover on it, and you put that in a CX, you'll get £1.90 for it, because they didn't even look like this a special edition or anything like that. So again, I'll probably put that on Vinted as well, and continue to argue with them. Right. I did go out and film earlier, and I did put in the film in. My son's singing. James! James! Do you want to sing in my video? He's being quiet now. Right, so I'll put that footage in at the end, and if you want to watch it, and to be honest with you, that probably annoyed me as well, because it wasn't a very successful look around, but there you go. I also picked up this. this was too good a deal to pass up on, and Roy mentioned it to me, and I was like, yeah, I would really like that, but I actually waited a few days before I done it. But can I argue, all three Deadpool movies on 4K for $10.99. That was on eBay. I think it's still there. Bushman Blue contacted me earlier and said there is a copy on Vintage for £6, but with postage it's probably about £8.50. So there's one copy of this on Vintage for £6. So if you want to save yourself a couple of quid, go on there and buy that one. But that also gives me the ability to trade my Deadpool, because I've got the first Deadpool in as well. Trade it or get rid, shall we say, and it doesn't take up any more stuff on the shelf. I wonder if anyone's opened these and seen if the Blu-rays are inside. I'm getting old. Everything's failing. I need to put the glasses on. Let's see if it says that it's got the Blu-ray or not. Given that I can't read German, my answer is I can't tell you for sure, but based on the package, I don't think they do. But you know what? There you go. Can't complain for $10.99. What's that? £3 a 4K? I think it was $9.99 I paid, or was it $10.99? I'm going to check. Let's check my eBay and find out. eBay purchases. It was $9.99. So, less than £3 a 4K. That cheered me up a bit. And saying all that about CEX, you do still go in there and you do find the odd thing. And I traded in a few other bits and pieces last week. And normally I didn't pay this much for a 4K. But it was sitting on there, the shelf, calling to me. Like this. She puts the lotion in the basket. She puts the lotion in the basket. I said that to my daughter, and she goes, "Don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "You're so movie untrained. It's unbelievable." But I picked up the 4K Arrow release of Silence of the Lambs for £22. I had vouchers, so it didn't cost me £22. But I do get annoyed when, I say again, they just give you the 4K and not the Blu-ray. I will put the Blu-ray in there because I've got it, but come on now. How much must it cost you to put a Blu-ray in there? A couple of pound maybe? Don't know. I'm grumpy today, as you can see. I need a cup of tea and a sleep on my Sunday afternoon. There we go. Is this in Dolby Audio? Yes, it is. Is it in Dolby Vision? No, it's not. I say that, but I'm just guessing because I've not got the glasses on. Told you I'm falling apart. Let's check. No Dolby Vision. I lie. It usually is a Dolby Vision symbol, but when it goes, look, there it says 4K UHD Blu-ray presentation in Dolby Vision, newly restored. So really, if you've got this, are you really going to put the Blu-ray on anyway? It depends, because sometimes now everybody's got 3 4K setups in their house, and you might want to watch it in a different room. I've got 2, but at the caravan or something, can't watch this thing, could you? So there you go. I'll add in the footage of my hunt. You can see what I've been doing this morning. I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea and have a sleep and hopefully wake up ungrumpy. I'm not that grumpy, I didn't think. Maybe I am. Alright, well thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you next time on the Movie Mad channel. Hello folks, it has been a while since I've filmed one of my traditional pavement videos. I think the reason for that is that I've just been a bit busy and I don't get to the volume of charity shops that I used to. Not only that, the volume of charity shops seems to have decreased on each route to a point that it means that sometimes it's just not worth going. Now, I go on this route usually at lunchtime at my work. It usually takes about 45 minutes. It's Sunday today, so I've got a little bit more time. So I thought what we'd do is we would film a little bit of chat on the way there, and when we get there we'll film in the shops if I can, and once I film in the shops, I'll go back and show you the small amount of pickups that I've got for this week. When I say small amount, well, there's a reasonable amount. You know, there's only so many movies you can own, and lately I've been trying to be a bit more selective so that my area of about, I think I've got about 1,500 Blu-rays, 4Ks in total between the lot, maybe 1,500, 1,700, something like that. And you know, I think that size of collection for me, especially with the space I have, is round about right. And I'm not saying that it's never going to expand in the future if I got more space or something like that, but what I would say is that I am being a little bit more selective. The other thing is, with charity shops at the moment, CEX is dropped their trading value significantly, and with the things that I'm finding leased in the charity shops, it is, shall we say, very difficult to get trading value. I did trade in, I didn't want to ruin it, because one set I got, I might have managed to trade 4Ks out of it, but I decided to sell them on Vinted instead, because what's going into my CX isn't as wide a variety as it used to be. So, tell you what, pause for now, and I will see you at the first charity shop. So here we are at Bernardo's. Let's go. So as you can see, not much in that one. That's the one I've had some really good pickups in the past, but you know, because physical media isn't in supermarkets anymore, then a lot less people are buying it, which means there's a lot less to go at the charity shop. There you go. So we'll just move on to the next one. I usually don't find much in here either, but you know, I'm out for a walk. I may as well take a look and see what there is. But chances are we're going to come up empty today. But you know, what I hope. Let's see what else we've got. see what else they might have. So next one is the Salvation Army. Or it would be. But it's closed. I didn't know it was closed on a Sunday. Oh well. I guess we're not going to the Salvation Army. Never mind. So I'm definitely not finding anything. Not in that one. Right, I'll post it, I'll get in the next shop. Here we are, it's all together, but it's usually quite tight in there, so I don't know if I'll be able to film. Let's go inside and see. Cleaning section 50B. Very funny. Oh dear. Not something that interesting, to be honest with you. One, my favourite X-Men movie, but I've already got it. Nope, nothing else in there. Let's head out. Nope, nothing else in there at all. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, cancer research. Let's see what we can find. Absolutely. Absolutely nothing in cancer research, nothing at all. So we'll head over to CX, see what it is. See what we have. Oh, check it out. You want anything on this, but I'd rather have the 4K. Nothing good. Still reaching for that one. Gonna get copied. Not very much.